gonna cut this intro part out the stream. But welcome to the extremely bizarre podcast. I am your host slash the only host on this fucking podcast, Basic J. But today I'm not alone. I am here with my Kai Squad member slash friend slash there's nothing else. I'm here with King Dragon. Oh, that could have been a better intro. You want to try that again? The mic didn't pick it up. Oh no! Hold on, say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't even capture you.
Hello, I'm happy to be there as be here as a fellow Kai Squad member and a fellow JoJo LARPer.
Okay, well, okay, all right. So we have a few topics today. And the first one I want to start with is which JoJo part has the best animated part? And I think this is an interesting topic. I've been asking people about this, like usually every time I interview them, and I see a lot of answers, a lot of different answers. Key Dragon, I'm gonna start with you. Which JoJo part do you think have the best animated like part?
I think overall, probably part 6.
Oh, that was not the answer I was expecting you to say.
I think it benefits from being more modern, being more recent,
Being more
and
modern.
I think when a lot of issues I had with other parts were, I mean, you know what? I think it's kind of a toss up between part 4 and part 6 for me. I
Okay.
think either one could go in the top spot for me.
Now I will say
I
there
think
are
those 2 parts
part 4 and part 6 are
are
like two amazing parts. Those parts are fucking animated beautifully. Now I will say there is a part. Oh, all right. First off, let's get this off because you already know it's a podcast, JoJo's. Every animated part is a good animated part. There's no bad anime part to JoJo's.
yes, I don't hate pancakes because I like waffles.
But there are some better ones. And I do think there's a few in that conversation that we could definitely talk about. Part 6 is one of them, which part 6 might be a little controversial, I would say. I guess going off of how people viewed it and how like they handle like background characters and stuff. Because part 6 is the only one of the only few parts that had like them grayed out background characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I can see how somebody would be like, nah, I'm not feeling that part 6 like choice. But most definitely the other parts I can see.
What would you say your answer would be
Bro,
to
it might
that?
be part 4. I'm not. No, all right. So it depends. Okay, so I'm seeing part 1. I think part 1 overall had to put the most money into that part
You know what?
for
Yeah,
the
that's fair. That's
reasons
fair.
of that's the first JoJo of that's the first official JoJo animated part outside of the OVAs and outside of outside OVAs. That's the first time a company tried to pick back up JoJo's and actually have a full animated part for it. So I feel like a lot of the budget had to go to Phantom Blood, and you can see it in episode 1 most definitely. Uh, but I will say, oh man, it depends because all of them. All right. So let's get out the ones we're not going to say. Okay, I'm not going to say part 2.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Fairs.
Fair.
Okay.
I wouldn't say part 3 either.
Part 3, I agree. I would not say part 3 as the one of the best animated JoJo parts.
I think part 4 probably uncontested number 1 for most people.
Yeah,
Uh,
I feel like part
and you know
4.
what?
Well, all right. You know another thing we gotta take into account how they changed from the manga to the anime. That's another
Yeah.
thing we should take into
Okay,
account,
that's it. Yep.
and we gotta see which part does it better. Cause like with part 4, Kira did not pop up in part like in Diamond is Unbreakable in the manga till later on,
Mhm.
or way later than when people see him in the anime. And I think that's something that don't get brought up a lot. So that little change helped the anime, I will say. What's another part? Part one, for example. Part one cut out a lot of stuff from the manga to the anime, which I will say don't necessarily help it, nor does it help hurt it. A little bit. I would say there's one part in particular that I think hurts Phantom Blood just a tad bit. It's the part before Theo kills Danny,
Mhm.
because they cut out the scene of Theo talking to George about like how Jonathan and Danny actually met each other, how they became best friends. And
Yeah.
I wish we had that extra context, because that would have made Theo way more evil than, even though he's already evil, which we're gonna talk about later on. But it would have hit harder if that actually happened. We had that scene of him getting context of why Jonathan loves Danny, and he's like, wait a minute, that's his best friend, and that's the reason he kills him.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wish, you know what? I still would have cut out part two. I don't want to talk about part
I'm
two.
Part 2 is
Like,
I
okay,
feel like for a lot of people it was hard just because most the average person now watching JoJo's part 1 and part 2 were kind of blended together
yeah,
in your most like, common viewing. So, I think it's real easy to forget. I think part 2 like the animation is very forgettable.
you actually brought up a good point, because part one and part two are kind of in a package. They came together.
Yeah.
So can we say part one is that much better, like animated, than part two?
Maybe not clear cut, but I think in terms of okay, what are we basing this on?
Okay,
Let's
so
let's go from there.
yeah, okay, let's go from there. So I'm basing this on my what I'm going off of is the JoJo bag fell behind me very slowly. I heard it. This shit kind of scared the fuck out of me. I'm going off of which animated part is one, animated beautifully. Two, uh, is well paced. Which JoJo part is well paced? Which a lot of them can't help it because of how that part came from, or how the part
Right.
was. I'm going off of colors. I'm going off of animation. I'm going off of sound design. I'm going off of which one made changes to the manga that don't affect the overall part. So
Okay.
that those are what I'm going off of. I should ask you. I get to ask you that too. What are you going off of? How do you base which JoJo part is the best? Is a better animated part than other JoJo parts?
I think a lot of it is bias for what I find
Oh,
visually
yeah.
pleasing. Um, and it's real inconsistent, I think, what I find visually appeasing.
Does it
Just
have to
because
do anything like in particular that hit that like scratch that itch for
I
you?
really like expressive colors and I think part 4 does a really good job of being like really vibrant
I agree. Okay. Okay.
and I think that's really what makes that part stand out so much is how much life I feel like is put into the animation. Um and I think that just goes to the art style of the part. I think everybody's going to have different opinions on it because everybody's all of the parts pretty much have their own unique art style. I mean, aside from the first 3 probably,
You know what? All right.
but
No, no. Actually, you know what? Let's all right. Let's go with this. All right. Let's cut. All right. Let's cut parts. So let's cut. We agree on part three, right? We're cutting part three. Like that's not even in the conversation.
yeah, facts,
Okay.
facts,
Part
facts,
three.
facts, facts.
Now, what is so the second one is the issue, because Mouse brought up a good point. The color switching in the first two parts are beautiful, like very well like executed, super well done.
Mhm.
So where do we go from this now? I feel like another thing we should also take into aspect, I mean, take into like consideration is is the animation good for the whole anime, or does it just have good points? Good. like fight scenes, good like this, or is the animation always beautiful? We
I think
might
that's another thing that part 4 really does well on. I think a lot of the animation throughout the whole part is really, like, consistently good.
okay. I feel like I should elaborate on what I mean by that. I mean, like, does the peaks match the where the baseline is? Does it match the floor, or is the peaks just that high that the floor is just like not that good? Cause now I'm kind of I agree with you on part four. I think part four is probably like I think part four is up there in the conversation. I'm not gonna blow the load yet, but part six is the all right. Part six might be where I'm kind of leaning towards out of this because overall animation cool, but there are points I will say, especially in the Bohemian Rhapsody fight, where we're kind of like, what are we
Mhm.
doing here? And I like the peaks for part six is like it's up there. Some of the best peaks in JoJo's. The Made in Heaven fight, the fucking Manhattan transfer versus both of the father and daughter. Like I think those fights are up there. But I think overall animation for part six, we might have to cut part six.
I think the peaks were high in part 6, and the floor really low.
Really,
I don't well, really low I think is harsh, but
yeah, I think it's
definitely
lower than
low.
other parts. I don't think no other part,
No, right.
or is it? No,
The
part
the
three
peaks
definitely
I
had.
think
Yeah.
were really good. I think part three's best the best thing about part 3 was that it was consistent. I don't think it was ever too good or it was ever too bad.
Oh, it was just there. Yeah, it was just like
It
always what
was
it
I
was.
think it was pretty like you're watching it and you're like, "Yep, this is JoJo's."
Yeah, but you know what? But we praise Araki for being consistent. So we might have to throw part three back in there, bro. Fuck. Damn, is part three the best animated part of all time?
Bro, that just I'll push that propaganda. I think Jotaro's the best JoJo.
You
So,
know what? With conversations aside, give your top three right now for the best animated part in your opinions. In your opinion.
part 4, number 1, um
Okay.
is it too no, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say, is it too early to consider part 7 just based off what we saw
Nah,
episode
say
1?
it, bro. Say it. Go for it. If you want to say part seven, bro,
Episode
part seven
1
look good.
was episode 1 was so good, but we just talked about the consistency though. So I think it's too early to fully commit to that. It's
Yeah.
up there. I think it'll be up there. But
Okay.
part 4 number 1 for sure. Then we're going to go, you know what? I think I'm going to go part 5 for
Part
number 2.
five.
I think we're going to go part 5 for number 2, and then I think we're going to have I'm gonna stick with part 6. I think I'm gonna stick with part 6
Part six.
and that third slot.
Okay. So, well, my list after discussions, I have to go number three. We might have to part six. All right. All right. I know I was talking shit about part six. Part six got to go out there. Listen, the peaks are just real high, bro. Part six, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the
That's what I'm
part we're
saying.
going part six. Number two is the hardest one, but I might have to say Phantom Blood. I guess it plus Battle Tendencies because they're both in the same package, at least anime wise. And then for number one, of course, it's part four, bro. Well, who we kidding? Part four is probably the best animated part. I think part four with the changes that it make to the manga, the way it was executed, the colors, the just how vibrant it is, sound design, overall as a package, part four might be the best besides part seven that's coming up soon. Might be the best
Listen,
overall animated package for JoJo's.
I don't condone part skipping, but if there was any part that I could show to a non JoJo fan, it would be part 4.
Actually, you
I
know
think
what?
that's
Funny you mention that. Let's go in. That's not even a topic on here. But let's talk about part skipping. How do you feel about part skipping overall?
I think okay, with the introduction of Part 7.
Mhm.
Okay, now we're into the new universe. I think that you could potentially watch or read from part 7 to part 9 and not have seen the first 6 parts. I think you can do that.
You yes, yeah, you I feel like you can, that which is a hot take I had, but yeah. All right. So
Um,
so is part 7 just the new universe? Is that the only
yeah,
like
I feel like that's where you draw there's the like the border, like the line. I think from like if you start in the original universe, you got to go part 1 to part 6. That has to be because there are things that happen in each part that are influenced by stuff told way beforehand that I think you just like you need to have experienced to fully grasp what's going on.
some may argue that you need that for part 7 too. Like some of the themes that are going to touch on anyway.
I think it's not as important because it's a whole different I think the relationships and the references you could catch and they would be like, "Oh, okay, I see." You know, like the reuse of names and stuff like that and uh the kind of like the character arcs that pop up later on, but
Yeah.
I think um other than like Easter eggs or references, I don't think that it's as important as if let's say you watch part 5. Let's say you start part 5 and you won't really grasp why it like Giorno is like the focal point of that part. Like you won't get the history behind that or
Yeah.
why the arrow is such a like a main like such a big deal. You won't really understand Polnareff and what led him to come to Italy. You won't really get that
Mhm.
if you don't watch the parts before that. So I think that it's just something you should respect, you know. It's kind of like reading a Harry Potter book or reading a Hunger Games book or so, just reading like like you just wouldn't start with book number 3. You don't know what the fuck is going on. So
Okay.
I don't think that you should start like that with JoJo's.
Yeah, I can see that. I will say my opinion on part skipping is a little bit more lax than other people. I do think like all right, so if you can avoid it, read all the parts of JoJo's. I think every part of JoJo's is really good. Uh but with that being said, I am okay with all right, I'm okay with part skipping if you have the like if you're gonna go back and read everything else. Like I was okay with part skipping with part 7. So for the anime, for those who are anime only and or those who don't really read mangas and they only watch anime through like anime, I think them watching part 7 makes sense because Stillbone Run was really hype. The anime was really hype. So I can see how somebody be like, oh, you know what? I never really wanted to watch the JoJo's before, but now with the hype of part 7 or Stillbone Run, yeah, I want to watch it. So I have no issue with them going to watch it and skipping the other parts. The only thing I
Right,
will
right.
say is since we're in the hiatus and we was in the hiatus until September 22nd, they should go back and watch the other JoJo parts. That's why I said in my video. I think people should do that. Uh oh wow, part 5 has the best anime adaptation. Easily? Uh, I'm gonna rewatch part 5. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see about that Flash fan. Also a friend of the show. Shout out Big Dog. Part 5 best animated? That's not wrong. You know what? I'll get back to y'all on that one. I'll get back to y'all on that one on the next Extremely Bizarre podcast. We'll get back to that. But yeah, I have no issue with part skipping in the terms of anime. When it comes to the manga, like No, what are we doing? Do I feel? I don't really have an issue with people skipping. No, I do. See, you can't because no, you're right actually. Because I was going to disagree with you on that. You can't skip that. Like you can't skip the original universe, and you need to read and watch all of it in the way that was intended. I was going to disagree with it just so we can have a conversation. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I think it's just sound, I think it literally it just like I think us like a okay, I think that a
Well,
somewhat intelligent person would be able to piece together context clues
yeah.
if they just jumped in. But I think you would be really like doing yourself a disservice and making it harder for yourself if you didn't watch this stuff beforehand. I just think like you just kind of should watch this stuff beforehand. Like I said, it's just pretty much like you wouldn't start, watching Harry Potter movies and you watch the third one first,
Yeah.
and then you're like, you could pick up what's happening and what's going on, but you wouldn't have any of the background that you really need to have gotten to that part that far,
Actually, you know what? I came with a different opinion because now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about it with the original universe. We're not counting part 7, so we're gonna count part 1 through 6 animated. You know what? I actually, if that's how they get into JoJo's and they do their service like due diligence to go back and watch all of it after they like skipped it, I won't have an issue with it actually. With part skipping. I'm not as hostile as others would be. If they let's say somebody on TikTok, because a lot of times they're gonna be put on through social media. They see like a really cool edit of like Doppio versus Risotto, and they're like, "Oh shit, I want to watch part 5 to get to this point, or I want to watch Golden Win to get to this point." And they watch it through. They watch part 5, Golden Win through its entirety, and that's how they get into JoJo's. And they go back to rewatch all the other parts. I have no issue with that. Or they see like fucking, I don't know, Iggy versus Pet Shop. And they're like, yeah, bro, I want to watch Stardust Crusaders though. Also, there's some
I
shit in
think
the
that's
chat that
fair.
I do want to talk about. So so Flash fan, the issue all right, no. So Flash fan said JoJo's animation low-key peaked with part 5 so far. Doppio versus Risotto is my evidence. Now, see, that was the conversation we was having. Does the peak match the floor, like the normal animation that they usually have? Because the Risotto versus Doppio, like it's peak. That's the peak animation, JoJo's animation. But do part 5 have a consistent animation and not just like oh like some of these parts are kind of like and but this part was like really peak. Damn, part 5 might be the answer. No, I'll still say part 4. I'll say part 4 until I rewatch part 5. Part 5 might be the
I
answer.
think I'd have
Does
to. I
part
think
4
I'd have to
actually
give it a
peak?
fair rewatch,
The part 4 peak? Does it have like a peak moment where it's like, damn, that animation was really beautiful?
bro. I think my favorite bit of the animation. Honestly, there's a couple points where I think the animation was really good.
Okay.
Um, when Kira walked into that couple's apartment,
Oh shit, you're right.
I think that was really, really good.
That's really good. Also, Mouse said fucking Journo's ear was his evidence.
I think,
That ear scene was really good though. I will say that was a really good animated scene. As
yeah,
nasty as it was, that shit, the torture dance was really good. And all right, now, all right, wait, hold on, we got topic. It's do part 4. All right, so Kira walking in, blowing the couple up. I agree, that was really good. That's really well animated.
I really like the when they beat Kira
Okay.
and Jotaro goes into time stop.
Oh, another one.
I really like that part.
The Bites of Dust animation.
Yeah, that one was really good. Yeah.
What else? Bites of Dust. I will say I very much enjoyed the one scene where Okuyasu used the hand to wipe away like Stray Cat bubble. That shit was actually like well animated. It's like super well animated. Okay. So all right. So can we agree it's between part 4 and part 5, animated wise?
Yeah. Yeah,
Those
I can
two
agree
might
with
be
that.
the. I still would say part 1 should be thrown in that conversation, but just for this, so we can move forward. uh part 4 and part 5 got some of the best animation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Can we agree on that? Until we get the rest of part 7.
I think that's yeah. I think that's a good statement. That's a good
Also,
statement
funny
to
enough,
make.
you was about to mention part 7 because a lot of people would. I don't think a lot of people would put it up there because of the CGI scenes. I don't think the CGI scenes are as bad as people are making out to be.
I think people can be real spoiled. I'm not gonna lie. And I wanted to bring this up earlier when we were talking about the animation in general because you mentioned when you were talking about part one, how they really needed to home in and really focus on doing the best that they could with that part to really get JoJo's off the ground.
Mhm.
And I think that especially a lot of newer fans, I mean, even us, we're not that old, but
No.
a lot of the newer fans or whatever, they might be younger, wouldn't understand like, for example, the Phantom Blood movie that they tried to make, or the part 3 OVA and the animation in that, how far how far that the studios really came and how much effort was put in to give us like JoJo's now, like modern JoJo's. And I think that people could complain about the CGI or whatever. One, it doesn't look that bad, but two, also like I think the fact that we've even gotten to part 7 is amazing in its own right, especially with the start that JoJo's had trying to get animated. So the CGI scenes really, I mean, honestly, I'd prefer it be animated, but look, the CGI only lasts but a second,
True.
really like a couple minutes,
It's not that bad. It's literally not that bad.
and then you go to really good animation, actually, like really extremely good animation. So, I mean, I think it's worth it. I look, you gotta honestly look, these animation studios, these people are not getting paid what they should be getting paid.
Bro, do you have YouTube?
And
I'm sorry, bro. I keep laughing because of YouTube chat, bro. Do you see what you're talking about?
yeah, I am
That
looking
shit
at
is
it.
so fucking funny, dog.
They're really calling you out right now.
Whoa! Whoa! No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Um,
Hey, bro, that's called content, bro. I'm going to get there, bro. I promise. I'm getting there.
you don't even know Paco last name. I'm so,
I'm
you know
reading. I'm
what?
reading
It's really
JoJo
funny.
right now.
Um, but yeah, I think it's understandable, at least for me. You cut corners and you do what you can. So you put a little CGI here and there or whatever.
Yeah,
But when you get to those scenes where it's animated and drawn, you really got to do well. And I think that they really, really did well in the scenes that they did draw.
I agree. Yeah, I think the 2D animation looked fucking beautiful. The 2D animation set the bar so high for how well animated Stillborn Run is that we can ignore the CGI shit. Also, y'all, listen. All right, so Flash fan, listen, bro. Was that not good content? I cannot speak a lot. Can I not like uh make videos about what is his name? He's a cool stand. It's a cool stand. I feel like a lot of people got spoiled by that. That motherfucker took over the internet. When John Rod came out, there was people not talking about JoJo's who talked about JoJo's. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm curious about this stand. He's so cool. Actually, me and Kid Dragon was talking about this. It's some of the you know what, Flash fan? I need to get you in here. We're gonna get you on a podcast. I'm gonna get you on a podcast soon. I feel like some of the horse racing could have been more uh dramatic. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think so. From like my memory, a lot of it felt like at least until the parts where there was direct conflict, like
No, it's definitely is it crazy to say John Rod is the 6'7" of JoJo's? No, it is.
like the scene with Poco Loco.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think that was well done, but I think when they do like the zoom out and they're just looking at, all of the racers, and they're trying to get from scene A to scene B,
Mhm.
that middle part, I think is really like, we're just gonna put horses in there and
Actually,
they're just running.
this leads to another question I have about the JoJo anime part, which I'm glad we're having these side topics inside the main topics. When's the last time y'all watched Still Ball Run anime since it released? Or
Oof,
or how many times have you watched it? Because now
twice.
I'm trying to think about the horse scenes. I do remember them, but I only watched the episode probably like twice. Oh, see, the cut content is also what we were talking about too. Because that's how we was comparing the parts. We was using animation with parts. Animation, how it changed from the manga. It does the changes like actually does well, or like help the anime or hurt the anime. But yeah, how many y'all actually, or how many times have y'all rewatched the Still Ball Run anime part one? I mean, episode one. How many times have y'all rewatched it? I can say twice. What about you, King Dragon?
Yeah, twice.
Twice, yeah. I don't. Yeah,
I don't think any recently, but twice.
not only did I cancel my Netflix subscription after that because I was so mad about like us not getting no more episodes, but yeah, I watched it the day it dropped. Now I watched it on stream with everybody else.
I just pulled up a little clip of the racing.
Hmm.
I'm watching a clip of it right now, and I think that I can agree. Like the the in between of the scenes where they're trying to get from one thing happening to like the next
Hmm.
is very like bland. Um, like you get to like the Dio Gyro encounter, and that's exciting. But the build up to that, very nothing, like very nothing burger, I think, and real empty feeling.
Yeah. See, the 3D animation might just be a necessary evil that we have to deal with, and then like the horse racing being anime, uh, that just might have to be the way it is, bro. Also, the coloring was. Oh wait, hold on, my fault. Flash fan for the audio listeners said I feel like the coloring was kind of bland when they weren't swapped. I gotta rewatch it. How about this? Next episode we're gonna do our reactions to the rewatch of um like how we feel about it, how we feel about Still Bar Run after our rewatch. But all right, so with that out the way, this lead me to the next topic. We're gonna play a little game, Key Dragon. This is the first time we're doing this. I definitely stole this from a different podcast. We're gonna play a game. It's called Pick Three, Cut Three, Stands Edition. So
Okay.
I'm gonna name some JoJo stands, and you have to choose if you want to pick that stand or cut that stand. You get three cuts and three picks.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so with the very first stand I'm gonna throw at you, Hierophant Green. Are you gonna peak? Are you gonna pick Hierophant Green or are you gonna cut Hierophant Green?
Uh, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it.
Okay, we're cut. All right. So keep it. Everybody, keep it on. Keep in mind, you got one cut. So keep that in your head. One cut is Hieroglyphic Green. All right. Next stand. Where we gonna put Moody Blues?
Moody Blues. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep Moody Blues.
Okay, Moody Blues. Good pick. Good pick. Good pick. Okay. Now, Paisley Park. If you cut Paisley Park, the game's over.
I gotta keep it. No, I think you have to keep Paisley Park.
Okay, so you got two picks. One cut, right?
Yeah, two picks, one
Okay.
cut.
Now
Yep.
be careful. Okay. Be careful because the very next one we got Ticket to Ride.
I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it.
Okay. Made in Heaven.
Keeping that. Yeah, I'm keeping Made in
Okay, so
Heaven.
now the other ones you have to cut. What a review.
Oh my. But you know what? You know what? I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we cut Hyperfit Green, cut uh God, what was your cuts? God, I know your picks. Your picks was Made in Heaven,
Okay,
Basement Park.
I cut Hierophant Green,
Yeah,
Ticket to Ride,
yeah.
and Wonder View.
Okay, okay, good picks, good picks, good picks, good picks. Do you want to do that again?
You know what? Yeah, let's go another round.
All right,
I'm happy with that, but yeah, let's do another
all right.
round.
Next one, then. We're gonna change the pick four, cut three. All right, so you get to pick four, cut three of them.
Okay.
All right, so very first one, Civil War.
Um.
What a stand,
Hmm.
mind you. Mm, I like our choices in the chat. I like that.
This is.
Oh no. I ju-
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I get four to keep, so I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
Okay, okay. So we're keeping Civil War. Next stand, The Hustle.
I like the hustle, but
No way.
uh, no, I know I like the hustle, but I gotta cut it. No, I'm cutting it. I like it, but I gotta cut it.
Okay. Chocolate Disco.
Uh, damn. I'm gonna cut it.
Okay. King Crimson.
I'm gonna keep it.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna keep
I
Crimson.
gotta. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep it.
That's a good
Yep.
keep. That's a good keep. That's a good keep. Since we're on here, Sea Moon.
I kind of. I think. I think I'm gonna keep Sea Moon.
Let's go. Let's go. So how many is that now?
That's three.
That's three. Okay.
That's three
Okay.
keep. Three keep. Two cut.
Since we're on this, oh, John Rod.
Fuck it. Yeah. Let. You know what? John Rod. Yeah. Come on. Keep John Rod.
Okay, and for the very what? Oh, so there's four picks and how many cuts?
And two cuts.
And two cuts. That means the stand that you have to cut is Tusk Act 4.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
You're okay with it? Okay, so
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
let's go through the stand list for the audio listeners.
So kept King Crimson. Kept uh Sea Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Kept John Rod. And kept Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Cut Chocolate Disco. Tusk 4. And The Hustle.
And that's how the game of pick four, pick three, cut three stands work. Good shit. Now that leads us to the
Yeah.
conversation that started this episode. It didn't start it, but this is the reason I asked King Dragon to be on the episode. Um, which JoJo's Bizarre Adventure villain is the most evil? Now, before we hop into the most evil, uh, I did the transition wrong. I should have started with this. Let's start with this first. Which JoJo villain is the dumbest JoJo villain? Let's try to fix some of the JoJo villains' plans, and let's start with uh Theo Brando. How could Theo Brando won in theory? Like, how could he beat Jonathan? And actually, like, I mean, I guess he did win, but how could he like what better? I guess.
I think the same now my same the same I think Dio for both part 1 and part 3 are going to be the same answer.
Okay, okay,
And I think it's literally his ego. And I think he just gets way too arrogant, way too full of himself, and that's really what ends up being his downfall in these fights is that he just doesn't take his opponent serious.
okay. So just lock in essentially.
Yeah, I think that's surefire way to win. Is just lock in.
Okay, you wouldn't change like nothing else about his plan.
Um, I think part 3 Dio probably had a way better shot at it than part 1 Dio,
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
but, um, I think I think if Dio maybe woulda did some more research on the stone mask, potentially,
Yeah,
and really understanding, like, the capability of his powers, and maybe hiding out for a little bit and trying to do some more planning,
yeah.
because we see the real power of the stone mask with in part 2 when you get the stone.
Okay. Which yeah.
So I think maybe you do a little bit more research, you try to find
Only got my
the
chair.
origins of the mask, maybe I feel like there was a lot that could have been done there probably, and if he would just bided his time, had a little bit more patience, maybe it would have worked. I don't think.
I would say
Um,
here was the change I thought of. Okay.
mhm.
So when Jonathan was fighting against Doobie, not Doobie, I lied. When Jonathan was fighting against Tarkus and uh Buford, I believe I forgot his name. Buford, what if Theo just attacked him? If we're really about fuck Jonathan, like if we're trying to win, and I guess whatever his plan was, like take over the world, I guess your biggest opposition in the Tarkus fight is chained up. I would just get the final kill there, bro. Just kill him. Kill him there. I would have been waiting in there like some devious ass villain. And just kill him. Kill Jonathan. I'll help Tarkus kill him. Because what's Tarkus gonna do? Fight him?
Okay. No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But also I guess the ego could have like changed to like but yeah, that'll be my only change for that. Or I guess run away and get build more build a bigger army before Jonathan come after you. Keep moving. Don't stop. Cause that I'll also say that about part 3, but we're gonna get there. Keep moving. Don't stop. Build a bigger army to the point where it overwhelm the crew. Cause realistically, who in that fucking crew was really handling anything besides Jonathan?
No, he was with some scrubs, if we're gonna be honest.
So yeah, that's probably my own thing I will do. For uh for part 2, I feel like Battle Tennessee is the easiest one. Just kill the Harmon users. As
Yeah,
soon
I
as you
think
come in and you notice, oh, they use Harmon, kill them. Don't play no games with them. Don't do all this pride shit. Fuck all that. If I'm Cars and my only goal is, hey, I want to become the ultimate being. I want to find this thing. I want to put this in the soul mass and become the ultimate being. Do this, do that. Just kill the Harmon users. Your biggest weakness is gone after you use it. And you're immortal. Nobody can kill you. Just kill the Harmon user. Even because all right, because it technically Car's plan did work. It worked. He became the ultimate being. I will also say if we're gonna let the story play out the same way. When Joseph got his fucking head, like bro, just kill that nigga, bro. You gotta kill Joseph, bro. You gotta kill Joseph in some way, shape, or form,
oh
bro.
yeah,
But
literally
I
just
would
not
say
playing
get rid
around.
of the issue before it becomes an issue.
I think
Cause who's gonna stop them? Lisa? Like who the fuck was gonna
they
really
the
stop them?
crazy part where was that the Pillarmen were just so much stronger than like the regular humans, like Haman users or not. I think it was absolutely impossible to go at all three of them at the same time and win. Like there was just no way that was gonna happen. Uh, so if they literally just like took it out, nipped it in the bud as soon as they popped up, they would have had no issue.
Yeah, I feel like Battle Tennessee is the easiest one to fix. Just kill them. You had 3 of the most powerful beings that we saw until that moment. Just kill them. Joseph couldn't hurt you. Caesar couldn't hurt you. Lisa most definitely wasn't fit to do shit. And she would have been the easiest obstacle to get past by herself.
Yeah,
So just kill her. I mean, kill them. My fault. I didn't mean kill her. Kill them.
kill her specifically.
Kill
Let's
just her
single
and
out
leave
Lisa.
Joseph.
Lisa.
Like, no, kill all of them. Now for Star Wars Crusaders. Okay, now here's the one where I'm kind of like, Their only goal was to kill Theo to save Holly. Why would you not move as Theo? Why would you not run away and put more distance between you and them to come get you? But that's where the ego come in. So we gotta remove. We have the one. I'm assuming that's where you're gonna approach. We gotta remove the ego from Theo.
I mean, I think that because I didn't even think about that. I think, but that definitely plays a part in it with the ego.
Yeah,
But even once you got to the final confrontation, again, Dio is just so much stronger than most of the people. I think Jotaro being strong, like just as strong as Dio, was something that probably shouldn't have been found out.
yeah,
And I think that goes with his ego and just playing around with his just because he was that much stronger than all of them. Like he literally had the ability to stop time, and nobody knew what his ability was. So he easily could have just like he could have easily killed Polnareff instead of fucking around with that nigga on the stairs. You know, like it.
that's true. Like I would cut out the part of just them getting to me. Their main goal was to stop Theo to save Holly. Like just put distance. Because the moment, all right, so here's how I'm approaching it. The moment they do that, Holly fucking dies, right?
Mhm.
She's fucking gone. With that will fuck up Team Morale. So all right, so that has one of two things. One, it'll either piss off Jotaro, or it'll fuck him up so much that he's out the fight. Like he mentally just came and like put himself in that zone to fight him, which I would say is probably out of Jotaro's character. Ah, maybe not. Or, and this is a big or. Put all the villains, all your like henchmen, to go after them like at once. Just what are they gonna do? Win?
Right. I think yeah. Mouse. I think Mouse said that. Just jump him with everybody, and
Yeah,
I don't.
just jump
You
them.
know.
Just send all the stand users towards them. Cut the shit off before it even get to you. That would have been like so. I two suggestions. Keep one. Send all the users, but let's say they survive that, bro. Keep moving. Deal. You're worldwide. You're Pitbull. Just keep going. Why don't
Mr.
you settle
Worldwide.
down? Just keep going. Why don't you stop?
Right.
Do you have anything else to add to Theo?
No, I think we covered it
Okay,
with
now
part
that goes
3.
to Kira. How can we fix Kira fuck up?
Literally just just sit down and just like wait. Either just wait or you literally leave Moria. Like I think every part of his plan was perfect.
Mhm.
You just had to get out of town. You just had to leave and he didn't.
Yeah, I would say he's too attached to that town. What I would do after he kills the user of Cinderella, which I forgot the fucking name of her, he has the best cover up for everything. I will leave Moria. Now, so I said this on stream, and somebody said, but staying users are attracted to each other. So they're gonna find him eventually. I'm like, yeah, eventually they're probably gonna find him. But like, if you put the
They still
distance,
don't know what he looks
yeah,
like.
if you put the yeah, one, they don't know what he look like. And two, if you put the distance between like yourself and you go to like some other town or another city in Japan that like that let's say they have like I guess above average murder or crimes. Just you get your urges off there, control yourself, assuming he could do that. But I'll change that. He's able to control himself like he was at the in Hayato's house. Just control yourself and get the fuck away from Mario. You're Gucci.
I mean, that's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward.
Also, yeah, if he never had a stand, he'd been Gucci too. But I don't. But if he gonna have a stand, bro, he had the best stand to disguise combination ever. Your face is literally changed, my brother. Go move. Don't even put yourself in a household that's even tempting you like that to the point where you want to kill his like Haito's mom. And also another thing. Here's another thing. Once he got bites to dust, Kira had the best plan ever. It was going to work. Everybody literally got blown up. And all he had to do was let it play out again and let it get past an hour time limit. If he did not expose, this is what I did. Lose the ego, get away from Hayato. Don't even give yourself the temptation to even be like, yeah, I win. I won. Like, they can't stop me. Because that's how fucking Josuke found out about him. Just remove himself from the situation or get further away from Hayato to where he can't like yell out loud and have fucking Josuke turn around and be like, I think that's Kira. That
Would have been real simple, real easy win.
because he would have won.
No, it was
Bites the
it was real
dust
easy.
literally worked. All he had to do was be quiet. But he had to remove it from Hayato. So stupid, bro. Okay, so here's where we kind of now Diavolo. How do we fix Diavolo? This was all right. After part 6, I'm kind of like I don't know how to fix these people.
Uh, honestly, I think
Or fix their player at least.
I think he just he was too paranoid. I think he was at like way too paranoid.
Yeah.
And
Also, thank you for the sub,
I,
money.
I think maybe if he just would have stayed put, probably, I
Mm-hmm.
think he would have been okay. I think he got a little antsy with what was going on, and he didn't trust. He didn't have enough trust in other people to handle like this situation for him. He was like, I gotta solve this myself. He goes so far to not trust other people. He has a whole second personality that he trusts instead, and then he barely trusts that one also.
I would say,
I think if he just stays put and bides his time, then
yeah.
he maybe relaxes
I think Diavolo
and doesn't.
plan was fucked from the get. Like, I think his plan was just the idea of controlling all these people without them knowing what you look like is kind of crazy. That's a crazy ass concept.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
don't understand
true.
how he didn't think like uproar was going to happen. How he didn't think people was going to question who are we working for? Who is this? So what
Yeah,
I would
it's
do
easy to.
as
No,
Diavolo,
go ahead.
or how I
Yeah,
would fix it, you have to show some people your identity.
yeah,
Unfortunately, you have to. Because that's the only way you can get them to trust you, like completely. And you wouldn't even have the betrayal of people trying to come after you. I feel like, at least in my personal opinion. So you would have to get these people to like, especially La Squadra or whatever their name is.
yeah.
You have to at least show them. You have to show like your top crew what you look like, so they have more trust in you and more trust into Passion. Because that would have stopped one of his biggest oppositions, which was that squad come after him. Or Risotto, that at least stop him. I feel like that could work. And another thing I would say, Diavolo spam. He spammed King Crimson so much to the fact that people was starting to understand his pattern and what he was going to do
Hmm.
and started to make counters to it. We have Risotto, we have Doppio, not Doppio, but we have my fault. We have Polnareff, we have Bucciarati, and we have Giorno. These are like he's using it way too predictable. Like he's way too predictable with the way he's using King Crimson.
Yeah.
And also another thing, my fault. Just to throw this out there, was there not guns in Vecchio? Was there not
No, yeah,
guns
for
in
sure.
Italy? Like, Diavolo, add that to your kit, bro. Just shoot these niggas, bro. What they gonna do to you? Because
Although
especially
to be fair, I can understand not really like not really wanting. I mean, do you really need it? Like, do you
you
really
don't
have a
need
need
it,
for
but like
guns?
you don't need it, but it would help.
And you have a stand that literally like It manipulates time.
It's a plus to it's a bonus to the sustainability. You're saying
But I
give you
think
the
the issue
ability.
with guns, I think you could they leave a trace and you could track it. And I think that would be very against
Look,
like
bro. In this case scenario, bro, he had to be. Look, all right, no, that's true. You're right. That's true. There's a way to do it, but was heavily restricted. Okay,
but they're also criminals.
they
So
are criminals, so
heavily
it doesn't like that
restricted for
matter.
sure, but I believe that they could get guns if they wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like they could. Also, just to take a little side, little break right here. Thank you to everybody on Twitch and everybody in chat. Thank y'all so much for being here and watching the podcast. I hope y'all watch the episode when go up live again. But yeah, Diavolo, yeah, you gotta show some people, bro. The idea of controlling people and not having them like know what you look like is a crazy concept.
Right, right.
Okay, now that leads us to Poochie. How do we fix Poochie? Now, the way I can see. No, let me start with you first. How would you fix Poochie plan? Because I would say
I was
Poochie had
just
the
about
one
to
of the
say that
best
I'm not
plans.
even sure. You know, I'm not sure what I would do. What you could do different, honestly. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he won
He did win.
realistically.
Okay, so this is the only plan I have for Poochie. Poochie had one of the best plans in JoJo's for his what he was trying to do. You have to kill Jolie. Like at the very beginning, you have to kill her.
Mhm.
So the moment he stole,
Okay, what do you say very okay, never mind, I think I cut you off right before you were
no,
gonna
yeah,
say I was gonna
like the
ask
Manhattan transfer fight, when he
yes.
stole Jotaro memory of this, you got to kill Jolene also.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like she won't come after you or she's like such a liability that you don't have to worry about her is crazy. You have to kill her. Or at the very least, if it get past to the point where it's like, okay, fuck, I killed everybody else. At the very end, when Emporio is shooting him, or Emporio's the only one left before he got tied to the dolphin, you got to kill him, bro. You got to kill Emporio.
Yeah.
You have to. Not like there's so many loose ends that he just didn't like. Not so many. There's a few loose ends that Poochie left that he could have easily took care of. You got to kill Jolene, kill Emporio. Those are the only two solutions I have. You got to kill them. Uh, is there any other way that we can change Poochie plan to win?
No, I don't not that I know of.
Yeah, like you got to kill
Not that I
Jolene
can think of.
early, dog. That shit gotta be bad early as fuck. But okay, but with fixing the villain plans, now that leads me to the conversation of which JoJo villain is the most evil JoJo villain. When did Poochie learn my Emporio? That's a good question. Oh, my fault. Mouse in the YouTube chat said, when did Poochie learn about Emporio? And I feel like that's a good question. The moment you find out about Emporio and he's helping, even if you don't view him as much of a threat, why would you leave something to become a bigger threat in the future? You not
I
taking care
think
of
I
it is
mean,
letting it linger and become more of a threat later on.
that's fair. I think it's kind of harsh just because I think the way that Emporio won that fight was just so like out of the realm of what you would expect somebody to do, you know? I don't think he could imagine somebody would beat him like that.
True. But Poochie's whole
So,
thing was about fate though. Like, there's no way he did. Well, God, you know what? Poochie was so fucking. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. That's part of his evil conversation. But you're right. You're right. I don't think he could have imagined
so
Emporio was gonna put the fucking
for
standards in
sure,
his
like I
head.
think, look, you got any ties to Jolene, like at all, like. But see, I think even if I think if you kill Jolene at the Manhattan transfer fight,
Yeah.
then you don't have to worry about anything else.
No, that's true. That's true. Like kill Jolie, all these other issues won't happen. Everything would still went perfect for her if he just killed Jolene, because there's no reason to leave her alive. After he got the memory of
So
this, what purpose did Jolene serve to Poochie?
I can give him the grace for Emporio.
Yeah, like I can see it. Like I get it's like a fucking child, bro. Like I want to expect somebody with that weak ass stand to do something to me.
Right, right.
But I still would take care of loose ends the moment I realize that he's helping the crew, you gotta kill him. You gotta take care of him. Assuming Poochie knew
This
that.
Basic J just said that he'd kill a child.
Okay. Yeah, in this case scenario, if I was Poochie, yeah, you got to.
Clip that.
But with that being said, that leads me to my camera's acting up. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So that leads me to the next thing. Which JoJo villain is the most evil villain? So I guess we go through their motivations and what their plan was. So
Okay.
part one, Thea. He just want to take over the world and become the most powerful person.
Okay. Okay. So for Dio, um,
Oh, you know what? I guess all right. So
do we separate them? Yeah, I mean, they're pretty. It's the same
it's the same
person.
person. You're right. But also, fuck. We got all right. So now we got to all right. So before we go into the topic of the villains, we got to talk about what do we consider evil? What are we going? What are we basing these off of?
Okay. I'm looking at their actions,
Mm-hmm.
their motivations, their background, like what led them to be evil,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's it. I think that's it. Their actions, what they did in the story, their motivations behind doing what they did, and what led them to that point. I think those are the three things I'm looking at to determine their evilness.
Yeah. I'm going off of what you said, but I'm also going off of how does their plan impact the normal person day by day?
Okay, yeah, that's fair to
How
consider.
does it? How does their plan affect humanity as a whole? So Theo, his take over the world, become the strongest, and I guess the heaven plan.
Take over the world.
So we got
Yeah,
we
and the
got to take into
heaven
account the
plan.
heaven plan.
Hmm.
So wherever we are, so now that also leads us to whatever we put Theo, we got to put Poochie to
Okay, I think for the plan, sure. Maybe their I think their motivations were different.
one. I feel like it's one of the same.
I think for Poochie, I will. I think for Poochie specifically, we got to think about his. This is why I wanted to consider like background, like what led the character to their moment,
Yeah.
how he was feeling before he met Dio, and I think going along with Dio's plan because Dio is as manipulative as he is and as charming as he is. I mean, he's literally a vampire. Um, how easy it might have been to be swayed. So I think okay, they could be one and the same, but I think I'd go a little lighter on Poochie just because of the fact that he was manipulated, and I think a
Yeah.
lot
Okay.
of I think a lot of his decisions and actions stemmed from his really like traumatized past.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah. We'll get there. So Poochie. So all right. So we're considering Theo like evil as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Evil is for no doubt
Yeah.
evil.
Yep. Definitely evil. One of the most evil villains. Okay. So we.
He
Okay.
he killed a dog as a child just because it was Jonathan's best friend.
That's actually true. Yeah.
And he had no reason to do that. That was before him becoming a vampire or doing like that. Just that really kicked off. Like I think Araki does really well when he wants to show like his villains being like evil. Like there was no reason for that. No rhyme or reason to do that.
Yeah.
So definitely evil.
Okay. Then what about Cars? How evil do we think Cars is? Now this leads to the conversation of like if Cars was evil that evil. I mean, he was gonna kill. What? All right. What was Cars' plan actually? Because I always struggle with this when having a conversation like this.
I think Cars's plan was to
Wasn't it just be like what was his
to
ultimate
he was
plan?
to he wanted to become the ultimate being, but I think would cars not have wiped out humanity or lorded over humanity?
Yeah.
Now, I've always struggled with rating and ranking cars on now cars is evil, I think, from because we're humans, and I think from a human standpoint, cars is evil.
A human what now?
But bro,
Stay in the
standpoint,
point.
but um I think Cars is probably about as evil as like a hurricane or like a tornado.
So
I
you'll count
think
cars as evil as like a natural disaster, like
yeah, I don't think that I think he just was like he was like an evolved being. Like he just was it's kind of like okay, so I'm going to relate this to early human life.
okay.
As some people may know, some people may not know. Um Homo sapiens are the evolved version, like the most modern, like evolved version of the human species. But before us were plenty of other versions of humans. There are multiple different versions of humans. And at some point, all most of those versions lived together, like at the same time. But specifically like Neanderthals, for example. Um, but the Homo sapiens being the most evolved, like the more superior species, would just eradicated the lesser superior species, and I don't necessarily think that that was evil. It was more so just like survival of the fittest kind of thing, and one species just died out because evolution and natural selection. And I think I view Cars the same way. Like he's just like an evolved species of not necessarily human. Would you consider that him an evolved species of human, or would you think that he is a different species altogether?
Uh, a different I'll consider pillar man to be a different species.
Okay, that's
Also,
fair.
Mouse brought up a Mouse brought up a point that it made me kind of be like, oh shit. Uh Mouse said because the outcome of him eating every human for nutrients, and that's why the other pillar man betrayed him because they knew it was gonna fall either short or in the long run. So was fucking car or what you're telling me is cars ate humans? Wait, you know what? That's a good point. Wait, what are we talking about? Do we view a different species eating a person as hey, we're considering Pillar Man as a different species, which I am in this case scenario.
Okay.
Would we consider other species eating humans evil? Or is that just survival of the fittest, as you're
No.
saying?
Yeah, I think that's survival. This like if like I'm not gonna think a tiger is evil for killing and eating a human. Like that's just like the tiger. Like maybe the tiger is like hungry or it got into a fight with the human and it
Mhm.
won. Like I don't think the tiger is evil because of that.
Damn, Mouse bringing up some good points.
Now I think what Mouse said of him, like of the other Pillarmen betraying Cars because of his view. Like I think Cars was very short sighted. I think where humans really excel
Mhm.
for the fact that like okay, and people, this is a whole completely different conversation, but humans like food. Like if we're all right, let's Cars looks at humans as food. Okay, if we look at what humans do for food, humans mass produce food on a grand, super large scale. Okay, their cows and chickens are like bred specifically for food in like factories and stuff. If humans would have approached animals like how cars wanted to approach humans, then we would have went extinct a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think cars was really like short sighted in how he wanted to go about this like change. But I think if cars would have been like, huh, I could make human farms. I can like breed humans for specifically like eating some of them. Then I think it would have worked. And I don't think that that's evil. I think that's just how it goes.
Oh, it would have been on some like Promise Neverland shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, then I guess you know what? I guess when we put it in the aspect of survival of the fittest, I wouldn't consider Cars to be that evil. He's literally just trying to like save his race, I guess. But you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's put him in. I'm gonna say he's not that. He out of all the other villains that we're gonna fucking talk about, he's the least worried.
And I think that you could make that argument as to why he initially didn't take the Haman users seriously and just kind of let them do whatever because he just views them as like these are animals, like these are just like you wouldn't take like you would take a cow seriously if it starts charging at you.
Yeah,
But if a cow is just standing there and you're looking at it, you're just like, that's just a fucking cow. And then you just walk about your business.
yeah. Fuck. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about Cars in this evil conversation. Also, you are right about Cars being short sighted because his idea of not thinking humans. Because you brought up a good point. Like like humans evolve. Humans are adapt to situations. The amount of times that we almost been extinct, but we always adapted to the situation at hand and grew from it. It's kind of crazy. Like he should have known that. Like humans are going to adapt. So the concept of him not thinking that Harmon users. Well, I should have said this for his plan. For him not thinking that Harmon users would adapt to because he genocides his own race. The game. Okay, so we might need to put cars that you probably he's evil.
Hey, that's a really good. You know what? I wasn't
Okay, hold
even
on.
thinking about
For
it
for the
from the
audio
point
listeners,
of the pillar man.
for the audio listeners, Mouse brought up a good point that we're not considering. He said he also intentionally he also was intentionally evil because he genocide his own race to gain power of the stone mass he created for more power. So he's just real power hungry, like kind of pretty much almost all of them were. Uh, so we got a cannibalistic genocidal maniac who wanted to become the ultimate being.
Damn, when you phrase it like that, that makes him like very much more evil.
Yeah, that become a lot. Damn, that it's kind of hard.
I was thinking specifically about his relation to humans, but I didn't even consider him to his own people.
Damn, yeah, bro. He might be evil. Cars might be a lot
Okay,
worse than I made him out
yeah,
to
you
be.
know what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's
Damn.
throw, yeah,
Oh,
definitely
Cars
evil.
is an evil ass fucker. Oh my god.
Yeah, but again, short sighted, very
Short
short
sighted.
sighted.
Then we move on to Kara, right? 'Cause we already did Theo.
Yeah, we already did the.
Kara, bro. Kara's fucking evil, dog. Kara's so evil, bro. His plan of is he more evil? Okay, he's probably all right. Kara's probably the least evil on this list, but that's due to his power or what his goal was.
I can't argue that he's the least evil on this list.
Okay, now who? All right, now who's the least evil on this list compared to Kira? Who can say he's the least evil?
In terms of us knowing what they actually did and seeing what they actually did. Now, I say this
Now who?
not to say
Are you
that
about to
he's
say
not
Diavolo?
evil. Yes, I think
Diavolo's so cracked to
Diavolo
a
is pretty
little
lower.
8-year-old. He's so fentanyl to a 4-year-old.
Bro, did we see that though?
Oh no, Diavolo. Hold on, we're gonna get there. Actually, we did. Diavolo is gonna Diavolo is a whole different evil. We're gonna go to him because I should have brought this up with the Theo thing. Let's stay on Kira. Let's stay on Kira. I don't want to blow the load because Diavolo bring another issue to the evil conversation that we're going
I
to get
think
to.
okay, all right.
'Cause
Kira
he affects Kira too.
Kira has okay, I know where you're going with that. I know where you're going with
Yeah.
that. Um Kira has murdered children
And a dog.
and a dog,
Uh,
murders random people and collects their murders random women
yeah, and collect their hand.
and collects their hands.
He terrorized a city for so long, a town for so long, and
And
his wickedness and the way he executed his crimes was just sickening.
he is like textbook definition of sociopath. He blends in. He literally puts on a mask to blend in, and he
Bro,
views himself as normal.
I might have to play, bro. Even with that being said, I still might have to compare because I was gonna play cars, like, or the car shit fucked me up. So I think I have to put Kira at like Kira got to be at least a little bit lower or lower than everybody else because
Well,
I
I have a ranking, and I have a ranking in my head
yeah
that I
I
think we're
because
gonna
compared
get
to
through
everybody
when
else
we
that
discuss
we're gonna
this.
be ranking, I like unless you want to argue Poochie, like I don't see like his is more personal. Like his is Kira's evil. We're not denying that Kira's evil, or I'm not denying that Kira's evil. But he's evil on a way lesser scale than what everybody else was trying to go after.
Yeah, but okay, let's look at
All right, no,
background and motivation. Let's
okay.
look at
Let's
background
go
and
with background.
motivation
Well, all right, what's
also.
up? All right, so what's his motivation?
Background,
Live
he was
peacefully?
a individual.
Yeah,
Regular individual, but literally had an urge for murder.
true.
Like he has this urge to murder people. And he indeed does murder people
He does.
and then collects souvenirs from said people he murders.
Is the act of trophy killing more evil than everything else that we're seeing that we saw already?
Is it more evil?
Out of all the other villains that we talked about, is the act of
No,
trophy
but
killing?
okay, if we go all right, so look.
Okay, I'm looking.
This is how I
I'm
want to
hearing you.
break it
I'm
down.
hearing you.
Okay.
Because Diavolo gonna fuck
We
this whole conversation up.
we both watch fighting in the
Okay.
UFC.
Yeah.
Okay. You could say that these heavyweights or these super heavyweights are strong, super powerful fighters.
Yeah.
Okay. Generally, not a crazy statement. But then we throw in this term pound for pound. Okay.
So is that how you try to approach this? The pound for pound?
That's how I think Kira pound for pound is up there. I think on a grand scale, just because all right, if we look at the two individuals we talked about beforehand,
Okay.
Dio and Cars. Dio is a vampire,
Mm-hmm.
so this otherworldly supernatural being, and Cars is a pillar man, another otherworldly supernatural being. So their evils are just going to be more like grand scale because of what they are. But Kira is a regular human being, and so his power, his crimes might not be as grand scale as Cars or Dio,
Yeah.
but I think comparatively, from the standpoint that he is just a regular, normal human being, I think it still is up there in terms of
Uh
like evil for a human being.
okay. Okay, so one thing I want to throw out there. Theo started as a human, so I do want to start that with it. And then okay. How about this? Let's have that there for now. Let's have it there for now. Okay. We're gonna put Kira there for now. Because we need to talk about the other villain. I feel like he would open up a whole nother conversation to this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Diavolo. Okay. So my issue with Diavolo in particular is Diavolo Okay, so how do we view evil acts that was caused by you, but you didn't know it? For example, what I mean by this for the audio listeners, to everybody else, Diavolo founded the Staring Arrows, and he is the reason a lot of these things happen. From part 3 onward, Diavolo is the reason why a lot of shit happened. Theo would not have got his stand if it wasn't for the Staring Arrow that Inga the Hag bought from Diavolo or W, or that he gave to her. It wouldn't have faked part 4 because we had got a lot of the stands because they was using the Stand Arrow. And most likely, I forgot how Kira got his stand, but Kira probably wouldn't have got his stand. And yeah, he just it fixed those, and then leading to the stand ability. And Theo most likely, uh, I feel like that also leads to another aspect of Theo getting the stand led to him going to meet with Poochie, which that'll be a little bit harder to argue. But let's just say Diavolo is the reason why majority of things from part 3 all the way to part 5, and I'll even argue a little bit onward, happens. So how can, but he did it without knowing that that was going to happen. He just gave away the arrows. So can we count that domino that he set off and that failed?
I'm gonna say a hot take.
What's the hot take?
I'm gonna say no.
No. So
I think
we're not gonna count
I
that
think
unnecessary.
that I think you can trace it back to him, but I don't hold it too much specifically against him because I look at it like this. If let's say a person comes into the, I'm gonna lay it out like this
Okay, okay.
and try to mask it in a very similar situation
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, I'm listening. I'm listening.
to JoJo's. Okay, let's say you own a pawn shop. Okay, and some person comes in and they buy a gun from the pawn shop.
Okay. Okay.
So you sell them. So you sell them the gun.
Oh,
That
I see where we're going with
person
this. I see where.
then goes and gives that gun that they got from you to somebody else, and then that person uses that gun and robs a bank. Is it your fault that they robbed the bank with that gun?
That is a, I will say that's an argument. It depends. I feel like it's a little bit different compared to Diavolo versus like the pawn shop owner, because there's like steps that you should take before you sell a gun to somebody. But the message in itself, I get what you're saying. Like, all right, you sell a gun to somebody, they go through all the check. Let's say they pass your checking balances, and they do something evil with it. Does that lead to you? Uh,
But see, this it's not necessarily like the person you sold the gun doing the evil. It's like the person you sold the gun to took the gun and then gave it to somebody else, and then that person did the evil.
mm, that's where I say this falls through, because the people that Diavolo gave those two committed evil acts with their.
That's fair.
So we're
I think,
so
but
it's kind of pretty much like the first scenario, like where you just give a gun to somebody. Somebody buy a gun from boom, you sell it, and he kills somebody with it, or he rob a store with it.
yeah, I think
Does that lie
maybe
on you? Oh,
you could have been a little bit more careful,
I
you
feel
know.
like some blame at least had to be put on you a little bit, not all of it, but some of it.
I think a tad bit, but I don't think too much because he very easily could have gave that stand arrow to anybody. I don't think he gave it to any of the hag like specifically because she was evil.
True. I mean, no, but but uh, I don't think he knew it was evil, but I think just the action in itself, just
Like imagine Abdal was like in the area and was like, "Oh, like what is this or whatever," and then he could
actually
have bought it off of Diavala.
was that before or after Diavolo burnt, like. Okay, I need somebody. Okay, so this where, all right, so this where I'm coming from. Diavolo like passed. did he find the sand arrows after he killed old dude? That one dude who took him in and burned down the house and like I guess kidnap his mother to like to like put her underneath the floor. Was that after that? Because if that was after that, I would say yeah. I feel like it. We have to put evil in there somewhere.
No,
Like
I think he's evil, but I'm not gonna hold him specifically accountable for the actions of others.
you know what? That's actually a really interesting topic. I need to take that to conventions and stuff. Ask people that. Like, do you think Diavolo action that inherently lit? I feel like okay, my personal opinion, some blame got to get put on you. Like, if I gave somebody something and they kill somebody with it, I'll feel like some blame got to be put on me, or they do something heinous with it. Some blame at least got to
There
put.
might be some guilt you should feel, but I think I don't know. I think it's a little hard. I don't like I said. I don't necessarily like blame. I think there should be some like, damn, if they didn't get that from you, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was inherently wrong to give it out.
See,
Like I don't think that was an
this is a good
inherently.
topic.
I don't think that was an inherently evil action.
This is a good topic. If you want to hear JoJo fans discuss anything, bro, talk about Diavolo, his like his extras. Okay, so all right. So if you don't view that as evil, then where would you put Diavolo's evil that we see already? Where would you rank that?
Compared to everybody else,
Yeah.
I think it's on the lower end. I think in totality of what he did, because
I will
let's look at
say,
the evils that he did. Okay,
I will argue Diavolo is worse than Kira.
I that's a crazy argument.
I feel like Diavolo is way worse than Kira. In a sense of
Way
in
worse.
a sense of how much they was controlling and how much evil they was putting out into that area. Because we're going with Kira, who is evil. We agree that he's evil. He's terrorizing a city, a town, a small town. Diavolo evil spreads across Italy, like in its entirety of that country.
But what is that evil?
That evil was drug selling to the point where kids was using it, and also it affected people's lives because how how the drugs affected either their parents or friends and stuff like that.
Now I'm
Which we
not
see in the show. We do see that in the show because there's even the old ladies at the pizza shop who's complaining to Bucciarati about how the drugs are affecting people they know.
now I'm not saying that that's not evil,
Okay.
but the selling of drugs you think is more evil than Kira murdering innocent women and children.
No. This is where no. This is where Kira. This is where Kira. This is where Diavolo overlaps Kira, because he is the top of a crime organization that do indulge in killing.
Mhm.
So those bodies are onto Diavolo, and I would say yes. And also, you can count all the deaths that came from his drugs. Even just the act of selling selling it to little kids is and how that would put their future into like shambles, assuming they do survive.
But okay, now this is where now I'm not defending any of this, but Diavolo himself is not doing any of these things. Like the people in his organization are.
You cannot separate you. I feel like you can't separate the crimes from your organization.
I think I think that I like okay, I don't think
His body of work
Diavolo
you can't separate because that is literally his entire plan.
I don't think you could I don't think he went out and was like uh I don't think he went out and was like, "Let's sell drugs to little kids."
Are you sure he's the top head? Diavolo knows
I
everything
think
that's
I
going
think
on
he
in
I
Italy.
think he
He knows that drugs are getting the kids. He don't stop it. He knows
no, but
he knows that his members are killing people because he has eyes everywhere. Diavolo knows this is happening, and he is content with it. He's okay with it.
I mean, that's fair.
So that has to follow him, and it's his group. If Diavolo wanted something to stop, like right then and there, he would have stopped it.
That's fair.
So we have to put those bodies on Diavolo because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have died. They're literally under. Well, all right. So let me not say everybody because a lot of people was gonna die. Like Chocolata, like people was gonna die anyway. But Diavolo gave them the guys. They gave them the reason to do it. And also the gang was paying cops off and shit, letting them get away with crimes,
I mean, that's fair. I don't know. I just think if you put any,
allowing the evil to happen and take over the whole country. We
I mean, I just think him being evil, for sure is evil, but he was just a mob boss, you know. Like I think, I think okay, I think that's fair. I don't really have a
I
counter
was gonna say because
argument to that.
we could put this in any other context like Charles Manson.
I don't have a counter argument to that. I think Diavolo is evil because he was like a bystander to it and was indifferent to a lot of the actions going on. Like, yeah, if he wanted to stop, it could have stopped. But I think his biggest thing was that he probably just didn't care that it was going on. Where as like Kira, for example, was like specifically hunting people to like murder them.
I will argue Diavolo had to do that. He had to put some people. He even got some of his members killed for uh opposing him and his ex. Diavolo's dip, bro. Diavolo grip on Italy was so bad. Like we cannot underestimate how bad Diavolo, like how tight of a grip he had over that entire country. If Diavolo
That's
wanted something to stop, he would have stopped it.
that's fair.
So all right. So if you're watching somebody get beat, if you walk past somebody getting beat, and like yeah, all right. So yeah, yeah, I will say it's kind of like you're watching like if you had the power to stop something, you don't do it. You just watch it happen. Then I would say you're also at fault. So yeah, Diawalo, I feel like could have stopped it. He just did it. His Diavolo not stopping these actions under people that he has complete watch over and could easily deal with is enabling that to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
where would we
Okay, that's
put him?
fair.
Because I feel like I know what your argument about be for Poochie. So where would we put that evil?
I mean, it's under Dio and Cars.
Cause his shit has like real life results. Like his shit was like ongoing when they tried to stop it. Like Theo was trying to not Theo, but like I guess part one, like he was trying to get the shit started. He did fuck up a lot of people's lives. Then yeah, yeah. Bro, I might fuck. I'm trying to think.
Part 3 Dio was so
Part
like
three.
influential. His actions influenced other parts.
We also got to
Like
keep into
he
account that part three Theo did put flesh buds in a lot of people.
Yeah.
Fuck, which it was inherently taking over. that person's body and not giving them any control. So fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll put Devolver third so far at what we got. And then
I
for
think that's
the
fair.
last one, Poochie. Are we how far can manipulation go until we can give that person flack for his own actions?
How old was Poochie when he signed on to the Heaven Plan?
Okay, so we signed on. How old was Poochie? Hold on, that's a good question. But he was in his 30s or 40s. He was in his 30s or 40s when he completed the plan.
Let's see.
Per six, Poochie. Uh, I did a video on this. He met
He was 15 when he first met Dio.
yeah, he met Theo when he was 15, around that point. But he was 39 when he did everything.
I think that manipulation can go extremely far,
My thing for Poochie,
especially at such an impressionable age when you have literally nothing else.
my thing for Poochie, I have to put him as evil because just because he was dealing with religious psychosis and also dealing with the manipulation of somebody that he views as a god, which I'll still count as like religious psychosis.
Yeah.
He's old enough to the point. So, all right. So, where's our angle with this? Are we gonna count Poochie as mentally ill?
Mentally ill, no.
Because Poochie had he knew what he was doing.
I wouldn't say he's mentally ill. I think traumatized and manipulated for sure. Now he's still evil. He still knowingly committed these actions and went out of his way to harm individuals.
Yeah, because all right, if I'm viewing this in the court of law, Poochie had evil intent to do it because he had multiple. 'Cause I made a video about this talking about like how long he took his plan. That was like a 20 to 30 year plan that he did with the Heaven Plan. Because
Mhm.
Theo died in like the 80s or some shit. Wherever the fuck Part 3 took place.
Yeah, the 80s.
Yeah, like 89, he died. The Heaven Plan was completed in 2011. So
Yeah.
Poochie, if Poochie went to Green Island, or not Green Island, but Green Dolphin, or the prison, he went to the prison somewhere around early 2000s, 2003. So that's a long time to plan this and to think about your actions that you're about to do.
Yeah.
So they, that will be called into question if Poochie was to go to court because that's intent to do it. That's a lot of years from your guy being killed for you to enact this plan. And even before he even went to the Green Dolphin prison, uh he met John Gallier and made the plan then also too.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, Poochie, it just the acts that he had to do to even get done. Wait, you know what? Theo might be a little bit more evil because think about how the heaven play had to go. You had to sacrifice like 36 people, bro. That's evil as fuck.
That is super evil.
Yeah, but no, Poochie executed that plan. So it also would say it's inherently evil to force everybody on Earth or everybody in like existence to know their fate and to be content with it. To show them this is what's going to happen to you in the future, and to think that everybody was going to be content with it, like that's just taking control of like their future and like how taking away the taking away the like the what could happen to the future. Like he's showing them, just taking away the curtain, pulling it apart, and showing
Mhm.
them this is what's going to happen to your future. Live life, be okay with it.
Now,
Okay, now see, 36 are the worst sinners. Now we gotta approach this. killing is the act of killing evil people to continue an evil act, not evil. The act he was doing was evil.
I think even if you had really evil people that you were sacrificing, you're still sacrificing them, and that in turn is still evil. It's still an evil act,
Cause, I, Cause now I gotta play the Daredevil card. What give you the right to kill them?
right? No, you're. I think you're exactly right.
Cause wasn't they gonna be killed anyway? They was in prison for I'm assuming life. Assuming.
Yeah, but killed to pay for their crimes, but
Yeah,
not killed for some plan.
some wicked plan for a god that you think is a god. I have to, bro. Literally, Poochie plan affected the entire Earth, or not even Poochie. Well, no, you could argue that it was still plan, but Poochie carried that plan over. He took over that plan. Like it could be another person plan, but if you enact the plan, that's your plan. You did it. I might have to put Poochie at like probably the most evil, bro. Cause his actions inherently fucked with. Cause even if you view like the rebirth thing, like technically speaking, he killed all those people, and they just got back. The amount of people he killed that stay dead, the way he even went about the heaven plan, the act of doing the heaven plan, serving a false god, like all that, everything on Earth was affected by Poochie's plan or Poochie act to continue the heaven plan. He affected everything, every planet, everything. It was the universe that got reset or reset it. That is
Is
the
he the
most
most evil?
that is the most range that we're going to see on this list of people affected.
Damn.
Cause let's assume old dude from part 4 was an alien, like he said he was. Poochie affected them too.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Bro,
All right, so
Poochie. All right, so if we're going off the rankings, now we're going to the rankings. I would have to put Poochie at number 1, bro. He's up there. He has to be up there. That's my list, at least. I'll personally put him at number 1.
I'd still have to put Dio at number one.
Theo's behind him with number 2.
I think I'd be okay putting him at at Poochie. I think I'd mine is reverse. I think I'd be okay with mine being reverse.
Yeah. Now I gonna hold you with the new enlightenment about cars, bro. That motherfucker.
Cars might got to be number 3, man.
Cars is number 3 most definitely. That motherfucker.
And then
Uh,
and then I think Diavolo and then Kira. I think Kira I had initially up higher, but I
yeah.
think when we talk about the scale of their crimes,
I feel like you can even argue a swap for Diabolo and cars. Just because if we're taking into account the amount of people affected by this.
nah, because Cars exterminated his own race of his own
That's true.
species.
Oh, do we have a number of how many people he killed to get to that point?
Let's see.
Is there a number to
is
how
there a
many fucking
number?
pillar man he murdered? Cause I don't think we ever get that. It's like told to us.
There's no number,
But I'm assuming it
but
had to be a lot though. So yeah, yeah, you're right. Let's keep him the way it is.
it does say he slaughtered almost his entire race.
Yeah, there's only like 4 people left, was it not?
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, yo, you know what? Actually, yeah, he saw the entire race, and that could have been like that could have been a multitude of numbers. But yeah, cars gotta go. Yeah, that motherfucker. That shit, Mouse enlightened me on that. That shit, yeah, cars evil as fuck. So yeah, I think all right. So I think I like the list. Kira
I,
is evil. I feel like it depending on what aspect we approach this evil. Yeah, I can see Kira being up there. But his effect to the amount of people he was going or his range of effect is much lower than where everybody else's is. That I can't justify him being any higher than where everybody else is. I mean, probably we get to like some other villains like later on down the line.
Mhm.
Like we could probably argue that. All right, for I guess for the last topic, I didn't. I did you read JoJo?
No, no, I have not.
Should we
So
LARP this?
not very knowledgeable. It can't, I think I was a lot more comfortable talking about parts 1 through 6 because they're animated,
Yeah,
so it's a lot easier for
it
the
is
more
like.
casual person to follow along.
Well, all
Uh,
right. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's we're gonna revisit the pod once we actually read JoJo. Do we think Toru is more evil than Kira?
I think
Actually,
he's
that's a funny
probably.
conversation because they're both in Wario. That's a funny conversation.
I think he's more evil than Kira because he kind of has shades of cars.
Oh wait, no. There's something that Toru did that Kira did it. He
We
did
can't see.
because you
We can't
remember
really talk about it though.
yeah he did kind
Yeah.
of stalk Yasuho while she was a child.
Yep.
Yikes. Well, all right, y'all.
So he would be more evil. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Is there anything else you want to say before we get off?
No, I think that was a. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, this
I
is fun
really
podcast. We
enjoyed
definitely gotta
the
revisit this.
conversation.
This actually went a lot better than like when did the overrule did. All right, we're gonna get he's way more evil. The Kira might just be the least evil person. He's cars light. Oh god.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he's cars light.
Okay,
Shades of cars.
so yeah, 50 Shades of Cars. So yeah, we're gonna end that here. Thank y'all so much. Well, all right, is there anything you want to shout out at all? Like you can shout out your channel, anything.
Um, honestly, man, no, no.
You
I
want to shout
think
out Twitch?
shout out Kai Squad. We're all doing our own thing,
Yeah, shout out Kai Squad, bro.
trying to make it.
Check out King
But
Dragon on his Twitch channel.
it's
But
a little up in the air, a little inconsistent.
nah, you're still doing it. So don't be too negative. But shout out to King Dragon for being here. Woo! And thank y'all so much for watching the pod. I will be back very soon. I'm gonna have a schedule. You know what? What's today is? Today is it was Thursday. Let's aim for Monday. Let's try to do an episode every Monday. How we feel about that? From Monday leaving
I
forward.
think,
Let's try to do that.
yeah, I think it's a good idea.
And me and King Dragon are gonna revisit this topic once we actually like get caught up to all the other
So that
parts.
we aren't called LARPers.
Yeah, because I'm getting sick of it. It's funny as fuck though. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you watch it, please leave a like and subscribe. If you listen to the podcast, leave a 5-star review or any review and tell me what I can improve on. Please watch on Spotify and share it on all audio listening platforms that I can put it on. But right now it's only on Spotify. And with that being said, I'll see y'all next time. Bye y'all. Bye bye. That was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. That flowed a
That
lot better than I
was,
thought it was gonna flow.
yeah, I do think that was a really good. Yeah, it was a really good episode.